Okay, I hit record and we are starting with F3 much ado, right? I moved this a little closer to the center. Like. All right, you ready? Okay, so we ended at 2, where Benedict has just overheard the men speaking in the garden about how Beatrice is in love with him, right? And he totally falls for it and decides that he's gonna have to return that love. So she said, they sent her to pick the town to come to dinner, and he thinks she's speaking in code because she's really in love with him. Now we get the reverse scene. So we go to the garden with Hero and all of her women friends to try to play the same trap for Beatrice. All right, you ready? We're on page 344, bottom of the second column. Hero? They're Hero. Did we forget our part already? Was it Bryn? Do you want to read Hero there? Because I do her. Nobody's jumping at it. Okay, I'll be Hero. All right, good Margaret, run me to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear, tell her I and Earthly walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all with her. Say that thou hast overheard stuff, and bid her steal into the bleached bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites. Made proud by princes, they advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen to our purpose. This is thy office. Bid thee well in it and leave us alone. Okay, so go set the trap. Tell her to come. Tell her that we're talking about her, which she, like any person, can't resist. Let's put all the comments away. We're reading them over right now. So go tell her that we're talking about her, so that she will come and overhear us. You can take over with Hero whenever you're ready. We're on page now 345. All right, do we have a Margaret? Yeah, did you dance with Horatio at the? Okay. I'll make her come. See that top of page 345? It's kind of cut off where the whole punch was.
I'm gonna be a little bit too far off.
See where
Oh, I see it. Okay. I'll make her come. I warned you.
present. Are you ready, Carol?
Now Ursula and Beatrice doth come. As we trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy heart to praise him more than ever did merits. My talk to the deed must be of Benedict and sick love with Beatrice. Of this matter is the look to scraps Hero made that only moves by hearsay.
Right, so everything we say is gonna be about how awesome Benedict is, so that she is gonna start to look at him a little different. All right, so Beatrice enters in behind, she's creeping on this conversation.
That's me.
Yep,
Now begin for look for Beatrice like a
lapwing.
lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
Good, Ursula. Ursula is the one who danced with Antony. Was I Ursula? I don't know. Did you play a? You play a little part? Okay, go ahead.
What is this? This is dish up, golden doors, silver stream, beauty, devour, treacherous date. So angle, we, Beatrice, and now.
Couch.
In the wood pine. Furniture.
Yep.
Here you not my part of.
Right, so they know she's kind of running along the ground like a bird that just runs. Right, and so she's trying to overhear everything. It's kind of like they're fishing. They're reeling her in.
Then
All
go we near her, that her ear lose temper. And the false sweet make that we lay for. No, truly Ursula, she is too disdainful, and her spirits are as coy and wild as tigers in the rock.
But are you sure? Like line 37,
Are you sure
that Benedict?
that Benedict loves Beatrice?
So says the prince and my child, the Lord.
And did David tell her on it?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it. But I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, a wish
To wish them.
to wish him fast with affection, and never to let Beatrice come.
Why did you so? Will not condemn and service full. Because pushing
As ever.
that there be yourself.
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve
As much
as many be yielded to a man,
but nature, sorry, cut off here on the end.
but nature never framed a woman's heart.
Oh, prouder.
Of powder stock than that of Beatrice, his famous sport, by sparkling her eyes, by the look on her lips.
Subdued
So
itself.
do itself so highly that her matter of,
Oh, it's values itself so highly.
values herself so highly that her,
To her, no matter else.
to her no matter else which not love
Nor,
nor take no shape of other.
right, so she can't stand to listen to anybody talk about love in any kind of way,
She is so self-dear.
right? So she's so stuck up, there's just no way that she's ever gonna falling in love with Ben.
Sure, I think so. Therefore, certainly they were not good. She kept his love, but she remains for.
Why you speak truth and never yet saw me, and how wise and noble young, how rarely sure but she would stop backward. If fair faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. Black by nature, drawing from the antique, it's all black, it's all a lance, it's low and take out. Grave of defense. If speaking by a vein blown with all winds, if a lion by a black wood. So turns she every man the wrong side out and never gives truth and virtue that which simpleness merit.
Right, so she finds something wrong with everyone. Yeah, yes. Ursula?
Sure, such arguments not.
Commendable.
No, and that seems so odd and some off fashion that Beatrice is not with me. If we would dare tell her so, if I should speak, she would not dare. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, pressing to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away its eyes, makes it for thee. For a better death than five knots, which is God is died.
Yet tell her of it, fear what she was.
No, brother, I will go to Benedict, soul, him to fight against his passion, and truly otherwise, some honest surrender, to stay my husband. One doth not know how much an ill word may poison him.
Do not do your presence and your wrong. She cannot be. I think so. That she is Christ. Use so rare, that's in order.
He's the only man that did the always established their father.
Pray be material in sweet. That's appreciated for bearing and words, both almost important.
Right, so according to Ursula, Benedict's even hotter than actual Claudio. So sorry to have to tell you that, hero, but he's even a better catch than your Claudio is. So they're really talking up Benedict to make Beatrice maybe look at him a different kind of way.
Indeed, he has an excellent young name.
His excellence different. Here you had it. Are you married?
But every day tomorrow, come go in, I'll show these affairs and then consider the best first.
All right, so significantly, it is the night before Hero's wedding. Do you remember what's supposed to happen the night before Hero's wedding? Anybody? No, it had been a whole week for us, huh? Forgot what was happening with Horatio and Margaret in the window.
Oh,
Remember? That's supposed to happen the night before her wedding, where they're gonna do a little role playing and Margaret's gonna pretend to be Hero and she's gonna be calling him Horatio, who he is, but he's gonna be calling her Hero and she's gonna play along. And then they're gonna have Claudio and Don Pedro and Don John down on the ground looking up at it, and it should appear that Horatio is hooking up with Kira in the window. Okay, that's supposed to go down tonight. Go ahead, Ursula.
She's one, I want to get awesome.
Cricket Crusoe and loving those by halves. Some Cupid pushed arrows, some with chaps.
All right, so now we find out Beatrice's reaction to hearing this. Is there Beatrice?
Me, where are we?
Page 346, top. Top
What
first.
fire is down? Okay, what fire is in my phone?
Ears. Right. Yeah, ears are on fire.
Said fire, so
Nice ears.
can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much, contempt farewell and wounded pride to do, no blameless behind the back is such, Benedict love on, I will.
Requite thee, so she's gonna pay it back, she's gonna love him right back. Problem is, they both think that the other one is in love with them, and they need to have a conversation where they actually acknowledge it.
Taming my wild heart, thy loving hand, thou dost love, thy kindness shall sight me, find the most humble holy, and for others say thou dost deserve, thy good better.
Right, so she's ready to get all bound up with a holy band, which means married. Ready, here we go, just because she overheard a conversation. All right, back to Don Pedro and Claudio.
I do the stage to Mary. When I look towards her. I'll bring you to my Lord, you'll forsake me. Okay, go to very slow, lots of years, switch around, you go.
All right, so they're totally messing with Benedict here, okay? Because, okay, Don Pedro says, I gotta go right after the wedding, right? Well, we know he's supposed to stay for a month, so this is all made up. So I gotta go right after the wedding, and Claudio says, oh, I'll go with you. And Don Pedro says, no, that's like giving a kid a new toy or a new outfit and then telling him that he can't wear it or play with it. I can't pull you away from your bride as soon as you're married to her because you get to enjoy your new toy, right? So instead, go ahead.
I will only be really good.
Right, so Benedict, who just found out that Beatrice is in love with him, is gonna probably wanna make some move. He's like, no, it's fine, I'll just take Benedict. Which Benedict definitely is not gonna wanna do, but it's gonna kind of force him to have to admit that, how he's feeling about Beatrice.
Common sense, so to speak, is on the. Yeah, my surprise that. Little angle there. We have the hard sons of the but. It was right.
Right, so we don't have to worry about him being in love because he's sworn up and down, he's not ever gonna fall in love, so I can just take him.
Gallons, I am not as I've been.
So Leonardo,
So say I, methinks you are sadder.
I hope you be in love.
Anything, true. It doesn't really want to. Be sad, he wants to.
I have the toothache.
all right, so he's beating around the bush because toothache was supposedly some kind of a sign for being in love. Benedict is having a hard time admitting that he's had a change of heart because he has been kind of a jerk up until now. And so it's kind of difficult for him to swallow his pride and admit that he actually now is interested in Beatrice. Okay,
Right.
that's it.
Oh, hang it.
Let's hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What? Side, did you say?
Where is it but humor or war?
Well, everyone can master a creed, but he has that, or he that has it.
Say I, he is in love. Yet say I, he is in love.
I know appearance is fancy, must be a fancy of strange side. That's be touched it today, or next tomorrow. So she like, what's also not the same. Unless you have a fancy. And here's that, fancy, because you have it.
Okay, so this talk about clothes and different areas of the world they're making fun of him because kind of like a middle schooler who decides that they're gonna wear everything that's fashionable all at once, even though the things don't actually look good together. You know, they're gonna wear their brand new tennis shoes with their dress pants and whatever, like, you know, or the girls that put everything on, the headband and the, you know, the clip and earrings and everything all at once because more is better, right? So he has never had to care about how he looks, and suddenly now that he does, he's putting on all the latest fashions all at once. So he's basically looking like he's trying too hard, he's like a middle schooler, trying too hard. All right, Claudio? You there, Claudio?
Just under 39.
Yeah,
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. He brushes his hat of mornings. What should that go?
right, so he's actually caring for his appearance, apparently brushing your hat was the deal, okay? So what, how else can we read the sign about the fact that he actually brushed his hat this morning?
I think that's,
So his father's man hath been seen with him, the old morning, his cheek hath already stuck.
All right, I don't know if you guys knew that. You guys have- Oh, actually, players are gone today, aren't they? Right? No, you are. Did you know they used to stuff tennis balls with human hair? Apparently that's like where they had rubber. They used this stuff with hair. So apparently he has gone to the barber and the barber has collected his hair because they would use that for tennis ball. So it's significant that he's grooming himself. Apparently taking interest in how he looks now.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of beard.
rubbing something, you smell enough of that?
All right, so again, like everything all at once. He's shaving. We know that Beatrice said she would never be with a man who didn't have a beard because he wasn't man enough for her, but she also didn't want a itchy beard. So he has shaved his beard, right? And he's got the cologne on. He smells like Axe. A lot of it, all at once. Okay, so everything all at once.
That's as much as to say the sweet use of love.
Here's what it is.
When he was want to which, and when he had, and when was he want to wash his face?
Okay, but we've never known him to wash his face. They're really making him sound bad.
But in itself, which I agree with the same.
Okay, so apparently he's even dabbling a little bit with cosmetics.
Dave, it is just spirit. She's now crept to a root strength and now covered by stops.
Even the other detail,
Nay, but I know who loves him.
that one I know too. I'm more than one that knows about.
Yes, the little position from this river ball, that's
So very the baseball.
Yet is this no charm from the toothache? Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words, speak to you, which needs having horses more time.
All right, so he wants to talk privately with Leonardo, which is probably a sign that he's looking for his blessing.
just even so, Hero and Margaret, they laid their heart with interest, and two bears, five.
All right, here comes Don John the Bastard.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good dad,
If you're easier served, I would speak with you. Brother, if it please you, yet how far you will be here, for what I
What's that?
means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I know it's not that, and he knows what it is.
The Indian impediment, afraid you suffer.
You may think I love you not, but that appeared hereafter, and aim better at me. But that I now will manifest for my brother at King Bozuka, in newness of heart, hath to effect your marriage. Surely see us, those men,
All right, so he's like, my brother should never have hooked you up with Hero. It was ill spent, your time ill spent, labor ill bestowed. He was wrong to connect you and set you up with Hero.
Why? What's that?
I came hither to tell you in
Circumstances.
circumstances short. Where she has been too long talking.
Talking of.
So, disloyal.
The lady is disloyal. Okay, so big news flash to Claudio the night before he's supposed to marry her.
Hero?
Even she, Leonora's hero, your hero, everyone's hero.
Ouch. She's every man's hero, meaning she gets around.
Spoil?
The word is too good to hang out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse Lila and not a bit of good. Wonder not till further warned. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window enter, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow with her. But it would be better fit on her cheek.
Right? It better fit your honor to change your mind. So come with me tonight and I'll show you what she's doing up in her window the night before her wedding.
It is so.
Hold on.
You dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough family have seen more and heard more, see according.
See anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow, progression,
Congregation, but that means at church, at the altar.
where I should wed, there will I shame.
All right, so that's a pretty harsh thing to say. If I see anything at all tonight that would cause me not to marry her, I will go tomorrow and I will shame her at the altar.
As I would do in favor, I would run with grace.
Right, so terrible promises today. Don Pedro says he's gonna jump on in and humiliate her along with Claudia.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witness. Bear it coldly, but Sunday night, and let the issue stress.
No vision. Sure.
No mischief, spiritually poor.
Old flag right well prevented, so you say when it has seized.
All right, so this next part, new characters, we're next divide them up. This is basically some comic relief, but it does play into the plot. Dogberry is played by Michael Keaton, and he is the head security guard, I guess you'd call him. Definitely drunk, definitely a total idiot, messes up all his words. And then his sidekick is Burgess, who is pretty much equally stupid. So, anybody want to be Dogberry, head guard? Please steal Dogberry. I can't do them all.
Something flash. And then
No.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody want to be Burgess? You got it. And then I need a watchman 1 and a watchman 2. You want? You want to be 2? Thank you. All right, that should take us through. Oh, no, do we have a Conrad already? From the earlier scene when he was talking with,
Yeah.
okay, good, all right. All right, so Dogberry is giving instructions to the security guards that are there to watch over Messina and specifically the wedding that's going to take place next. All right, Dogberry.
are you good men and true?
There are also work that we but they take.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the purpose.
Well, we've done their first favorite dog fight.
First, who think you the most disheartened man to be constable?
All right, so it should be deserving. He basically tries to use big words, but he gets them all backwards. Watchman 1, who should be the constable?
You, okay, sir, or George C. Cole, where they can write and read.
Right, which gives you a little bit of a context of what kind of caliber of people we're talking about here. If the ones that can read and write should be the constable, it pretty much presumes that nobody else can do that.
Come hither, neighbor Sequel. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Which is completely opposite, right? You actually have to learn how to read and write. It's not something that comes by nature. All right, 2.
Both of which master unstable.
You have, I knew it'd be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir. Why? Give God thanks. and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore bear you the lanthorn. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
Everybody will not stand.
Why then take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a name.
Okay, so pretty terrible advice to security guards. If somebody won't stop when you tell them to stop in the name of the prince, you should just let them go because you don't want to be hanging around with bad guys like that. Burgess? Luther Burgess.
People not say what is given.
True. And they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets. For the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable, and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than we would, you know what belongs to.
Right, so we'd rather fall asleep than talk on the watch, which is terrible as well for a guard. Dogberry?
Why you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman? For I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not, then the better answer. You may say they are not the men we took them for.
Sir,
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
if you know him to be a thief, shall we not live in?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch fish will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out your company.
Right? Terrible advice, right? If you think he's a thief, stupid pun, let him steal out of your company. It's the worst possible advice that you should give to security guards. Burgess?
You have always called first for me. Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who has any honesty in him.
Where your child cries the way you was called.
How if the nurse be asleep when she does?
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with cry, so that you that will not hear her lamb when it bathes will never answer her calf when he bleeds.
It's very true.
This is the end of the charge. You constable are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
They borrow again. I told you.
5 shillings to one
On it.
on. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
Our lady, I think.
Ha, aha. Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight changes, call up me. Keep your fellow counsels in your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here on the church bench. So too and go.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Senor Leonardo's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow. There is a great spoil tonight. I do. Be vigilant.
Vigilant.
Oh,
He means vigilant though.
I beseech you.
All right, so one last little bit of advice for tonight. Take a look around Leonardo's house, make sure that nothing gets, out of place, out of whack, because his daughter's getting married tomorrow, which if these guards actually did their job, they might actually catch Horatio in his plot to ruin Hero. It doesn't look very hopeful though, because they seem to be really pretty stupid and they're planning to go to bed at 2 o'clock. All right, so here come Horatio and Conrad, who are Don John's men, right? Horatio is the one who's supposed to do the whole thing in the window, and Conrad is definitely team Don John the bastard. All right, Horatio. Who's up, Horatio? You may remember, Horatio was with Margaret at the dance. Who was it? Oh, he's not here. Somebody want to be Horatio today? Okay, I'll be Horatio. All right, what, Conrad?
He's, still not.
All right, so the watchmen are significantly eavesdropping and overhearing this whole conversation. Conrad, I say,
Here, man, I'm at that elbow.
massive by my elbow itched. I thought there would have scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that, not forward with that hair.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter it all to thee. So they're standing kind of underneath a window awning for a store display. Okay, which is gonna be kind of important. They start talking about the stuff in the store window.
Some freedom master can't stand for.
Therefore, I know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich, for when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or hat or cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is a fair.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, fashion for fashion.
Tush, I may as well say the fool's the fool, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? So he's making fun of the display case. He's getting off track. He's supposed to be telling you a story about what happened in the window. Instead, he's calling it a deformed fashion, like it's a messed up style. 2.
I know that he has been about to the 7 year. And he goes up and down with a gentleman. I know this.
All right, so the watchman is so stupid, he thinks that his name is deformed, not that he's talking about fashion being bad. Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, it was the vein of the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30. Sometimes fashioning them like a pharaoh soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like God bells priests in the old church window. Sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm tapestry. Where his codpiece seems as nasty as his club. Right, so he's totally making fun of the fashion. That's all that's important here, because he's getting off track instead of telling his story.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel. Are not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou
Past.
hast shifted out of thy tail to the economy of the fashion.
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale wildly. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted in place and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter, which is a nice way of saying they were getting it on in the window. Okay, so the 3 guys are down in the field, they're down below, they're looking up, they see it, it's all gone down already. Horatio was in the window with Margaret, he's calling her Hero, she's calling him Horatio, and Claudio and Don Pedro are totally duped down on the ground level with Don John.
Thought that Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, that's the 2 that they're trying to trick, right, Don Pedro and Claudio? The prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband. Okay, so it's all gone down. Claudio has sworn he's going to shame her tomorrow at the wedding. Not going to marry her.
We charge you in the Princess name stain.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known. Commonwealth.
All right, so this is not what lechery is. Lechery means to cheat on your spouse, and that is not really what they've discovered. Okay, 2.
Anyone deformed is one of them. I know him, where's the law?
Masters. If that makes sense.
I don't know, go with 1.
You be made spring to farm forth. We weren't, I weren't.
Masters.
Never speak, we charge you. Let us obey you to go.
Instead of command you. We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up by these men's bills.
Commodity in question. I warn you. Hello, baby.
All right, so they get arrested, whether or not these watchmen can actually uncover the truth and save Hero in time, it's looking pretty doubtful because they're completely fooled. And they're calling moral reform, should be making fun of fashion, fashion. He thinks,
Yeah.
Horatio and Conrad get arrested because the watchmen overhear this conversation.
We take a wiggle before.
There's only about a page. It's about 2 pages left. Do you want to do it now? Do you want to wiggle now, or do you want to do 2 pages and be done with it? Yeah, I think it'll be like another 15 minutes tops. We good? Okay. All right, back over to Hero, who's getting ready for her wedding, completely clueless about what went down in her window that night before.
Unrelated.
I think we're on Hero's line. Back it up just a hair. Hero? Good, Ursula? Bottom of that first column. Right at the start of scene 4. Bottom of the first column. Very nice.
Ursula Lake, my cousin Rachel, there for advice. And been her comforter.
Well,
My Margaret? Remember,
Oh, wait, I think.
you Margaret? Okay.
Charlotte, I think your other Roboto were better.
All right, so they're talking about what Hero should wear for her wedding.
No, crazy, good, hang out with us. When my thoughts not so good, and I warned your cousin one day. My cousins will one now or another. Over none but this. I like the new tire with an excellency. If the hair were a thought browner and your gowns the most rare fashion, I saw the Duchess of Milan gown that they praised so. Oh, that is cute, they say. By my thoughts, but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloth a golden cuts and laid with silver, set the pearls down, set with pearls down to the side sleeves and skirts, round underworn with a blush tinsel, but for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, here's his birthday and Trying to be George Moore, and her heart is exceeding heavy. Will be heavier soon by the weight of a minute.
All right, so Margaret's gotten kind of dirty. And since the last time she was talking, you think your heart is heavy now, wait till you get the weight of a man on top of you after the wedding.
5 on the art shape. The bullet lady speaking honorably is not marriage honorable a beggar, is not your lord honorable without marriage. I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband. And that thing you do not rest true speaking, I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in
the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it'd be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, his life and not him. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
The moral ties.
Beatrice?
Yeah, sure. The moral savior. Why, how now, do you speak music too?
I'm out of all other tunes. Collapse into light of love that goes without a burden. Do you sing it? And I'll dance it. We are like a love with the wheels that can husband have stays enough to see each other for one. Oh, legitimate construction. I swear that with my heels. You almost had a drop with me. It's time you were ready. Sometimes I have to experience. For a hawk, a horse, or a husband. For the letter that begins from all. Well, and you be not turn to turn. There's no more sailing by the star. What we will tell. Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
Use love to the notes that mean that they are extreme.
I accept as a right to us.
All right, so stuffed means she's saying she's got a stuffy nose, but it's also another term for being pregnant.
A maid and stuff. There's good reed catching with a pole. Oh, God, help me, God, help me. How long is this fester?
Right, so when did you get such a sassy and dirty mouth?
Ever since you left me, doth not my wit become you early? It is not Stephen like to keep where they use some of this distilled hard juice.
Yeah, Carduous Benedictus, so totally messing with her. Oh, you're sick? Try some of this Benedictus stuff, right? That's what you need to fix yourself.
And lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a fall.
There thou quickest her with this.
Benedictus, why Benedictus? Perhaps some moral in this sentence. Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, fire lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not what to think what I can. Nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now was he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now in spite of his heart, he keeps his knee without virtue. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do. What makes you this have bad confidence? Not a full gallon.
Here comes Ursula.
And draw the face to count. Nor Benedict, on all
Gallons.
all the gallons of the town. From the venue church.
Just be good friends, good neighbors.
All right, so they're on the cusp of the altar, and we know what Claudio's planning, so one last hope here. Leonardo opens the door, and it's Dogberry and Burgess. Now, if they can get the message out that they've arrested Horatio and Conrad for this whole great big plot to ruin Hero, then there's a chance that maybe they can prevent it from happening at the altar, right? Leonardo. Start at scene 5.
Oh, what would you do with me, honest neighbor?
Mary, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Grief, I pray you, for you see it as a busy time of thing.
Mary, then this it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Burgess, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were, but in faith honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God.
Comparisons are odorous. Palbrus, neighbor Burgess.
The other sort of tedious.
Right, so tedious obviously means you are annoying, you're slow, you're driving me nuts. If it pleases your worship to say so, But we are the poor duke's officers, but true, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
Like, seriousness on me, huh?
Yeah, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I'm glad to hear it.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Right, so they're just talking in circles, he's like, what are you here to say? What is the deal, right?
There's Sarah watch, right, accepting the worship.
All right, so he gets it out. We have arrested 2 bad guys. 2 Eric's knaves. A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, in faith. Your neighbor Burgess, well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, in faith, sir, by my troth, is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of young.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship. Yep.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. Bring it.
Bring it me, to me.
I'm now in great haste as it may appear unto you.
All right, so they're so difficult to talk to and so screwed up in their wording and so annoying that Leonardo says, go interrogate them yourself. I've got a wedding to attend to. If they had just said, it's about your daughter, maybe they could have gotten their attention, right? It shall be sufficient.
Here's some wine ready to go. Very well.
Messenger, oh, my lord, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
Always upon that. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do a wise thing.
We will spare for no wit, I warn you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail. All right, so they're gonna go interrogate the 2 bad guys. In the meantime, the wedding is gonna go down. And they're not gonna take care of time because they have to go examine. Good, questions on Act 4? Okay, do you want to wiggle before the quiz? Why don't you wiggle till 39 and then go back and we'll do the quiz. All right, 2, 3, all right. Eventually, we have to go to summer break. I can't always go the extra time.
Are we gonna watch the?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thing before you take it too?
Oh, you want to watch it first? Yeah, I'll get it queued up.
Yes, and